doing. I hope it's well. I'm annoyed with myself because I forgot to take my tablets yesterday. I ended up feeling crap and I had to leave work early. Annoying, very annoying. I'm just annoyed with myself for forgetting to take them. More than anything, you know. Obviously they are doing something, you know. But yeah, just a bit annoyed at myself over it, you know. Anyway, well, this coronavirus is doing me that in a bit, because how they're telling people to isolate is ridiculous. Because they're saying that you need to self-isolate for 14 days, 2 weeks. That's all well and good for the people that work for, you know, these researching companies or on the telly and all. That's fine for them to say to do. However, if you're someone that's paid by the hour or self-employed, you don't work, you don't get paid. And 2 weeks is a lot of time not to get paid for. Simple as that. They're saying like, no, get the food delivered, or well, what if you're someone that doesn't have the internet, isn't savvy on, you know, using the phones or on the computers or anything like that, or or has no one around them to do the shopping for them? What are they supposed to do then? Oh, you're supposed to go out, get the food and get your shopping and then go back home. And then what about the people that are providing care for people? Care workers, etc. Because no amount of, in all honesty, no amount of having gloves, aprons, washing your hands is ever going to 100% protect you. And you're going to be, they'll be going into houses where there will be it. You know, I was working when norovirus hit over here in this area. Come down with it, you know, you go down for a day, whatever, but you have to go back out, you know, because as with everything, they're absolutely strapped. So it's all well and good saying all this, but in real life it's not going to work. And I know from personal experience, especially with doing care work and all that, because people need care. Simple as that. You're going to be going into the house where there are these infections or viruses, etc. And you're at risk from the minute you step into the door, but then you're supposed to self-isolate for 2 weeks. Well, in which case, no person will end up getting care. That's without even going into actual care homes. going to care homes and, you know, some thinks, oh, it's just a cough. I'll go in and I'll see, you know, whoever. Or a carer goes in thinking, at the end of the day, I can't take the time off work. It's just not feasible the way they want it to be. As simple as that, really. It's all well and good putting it down on a bit of paper. Everything looks good on paper. You can write down what you earn in a month and it looks really, really good. You outgoings and ingoings and blah, blah, blah. But then when it comes to real life and, you know, oh, I forgot this bill, etc., suddenly what's written down in your paper isn't going to last a week, let alone a month, you know, that kind of thing. It's all well and good saying, giving all these suggestions or this is what you should do. But it's not how it works in real life. We as carers were going around and we were fully PPE'd up. You still end up with it because you're there with the disease, with, you know, the disease, the ill, you know, virus. It's virus. But people still need care. I'd say the ones that are most at risk are those dealing with the public, retail workers, NHS workers, etc., etc., and care people. Because they are, really. Obviously those with, you know, autoimmune, obviously. But like in general life, they are the ones that are going to be most at risk. And what do their jobs entail? Dealing with people. In the NHS, dealing with sick people. And you'll still get people that will go there with a very slight cough thinking that they're dying because they ain't eaten. I do personally feel like there is quite a lot of scaremongering going on. Because statistically speaking, it's no worse than a normal flu. Okay, there's no vaccine for it, but there is always going to be something that crops up where there's no vaccine for something. Do I think it's going to come to a pandemic? Maybe. And if it does, then I'll fully admit that I was wrong. I've got no issue with admitting that I'm wrong. I feel like there is. I just feel like there's a lot of scaremongering going on. And hopefully it's more being overly cautious and it come to very little. But then you know you're going to get people that will still go out, and it'll be, they've got the option of being fully supported in a, you know, self-isolating, and they'll still go out, you know, you get those kinds of people. And they're the ones that are going to be putting more people at risk, and it is what annoys me is when you've got people that have compromised immune systems that will be going out because real life dictates that you need to leave your house. And then they'll come in contact with this person who will recover fine from it and, you know, have no lasting damage, but the person that's got a compromised immune system may not be so lucky. And that is one of the things that does annoy me, is that you know without a shadow of a doubt that there are going to be those types of people. And it 100%, if there's people that cannot, and I know that it's going to happen, there's going to be people that cannot not leave their house. That shouldn't leave their house but have no option but to, because there's multitudes of reasons why people would still have to leave their house. It's like they're saying, if you're like, I don't know, a single parent and you've got no one around you that can have the kids, but you're asking for someone to take the kids on for 2 weeks, like, yes, it's a special situation, but 2 weeks is a long time. A very long time. This, you know, people seem to think that 2 weeks is just, you know, a drop in the ocean. 2 weeks is a very long time. There is an awful lot that can happen in just 2 weeks. And you can say it's just 2 weeks. 2 weeks can feel like the longest time ever. I've just had just over 2 weeks off at home, and it has felt like the longest 2 weeks of my entire life. So to say, oh, just get someone to look after your children for 2 weeks. So it's all, but then they'll say, but if you've not got that option, isolate the children. So then what about when the parent gets a fine, because the school will be arses and fine the parents regardless of whether it's coronavirus or not? Because I will put money down that will happen. I swear, it will happen to someone. So what are you going to do then, government? Are you then going to pay for this fine, or are you going to get the fine squashed? It does annoy me with all these, you know, just do this and just do that. It's not just a case of just do this and just do that, because you're looking from a piece of paper. You're not looking from a real life scenario. It's just ridiculous. It is just, I'm hoping and I'm praying that it is just a lot of scaremongering and being overcautious. If it's not, then I'll say I was wrong. But to sit and tell people to self-isolate for 2 weeks, in my opinion, it's just not realistic for a normal person. Maybe if you're someone that has, you know, God, I can't speak English. If you're someone that has, you know, a huge amount of money, I'm going to say that instead of trying to say that other word, because I obviously can't speak today. That's, oh, well and good, you're fine. But for the everyday person, someone that, you know, it's just, anyway, I hope you're well. If you are, stay well. If you're not, I hope you get better soon. Stay hydrated, eat whatever you can, sleep well, all that jazz. I will see you guys in the next one.